All right, there we go.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey, there we
good
are.
morning, guys.
Happy Saturday,
Happy
everybody. I
Saturday.
hope you're doing really well with
Yep,
your tea and coffee. Maybe you've already had it. We're just waking up still.
yeah, we are. Yeah, it was kind of a little bit later get up
I
than we used
know.
to, but happy Saturday.
Yes,
What is it? August
it's the
27th.
last Saturday of August already. I
Wow.
know. Can you believe that?
Wow.
September, you
I
guys.
know.
How did that happen?
Crazy, crazy.
So here we are,
So,
and we hope your weather is cooperating for
yeah,
you.
I
But
know,
we're
right?
talking about fall bulbs today. So does
Yes.
it seem a little
Yes.
early to be thinking about bulbs?
Not really.
I mean,
Not really. I think you and I were even talking about them maybe in maybe the end of July, beginning of August. We
we
started
kind of,
really kind of talking
yeah.
about it, thinking about it.
Well,
So,
as gardeners, we always start thinking ahead, right? We're planning
oh
ahead,
yeah.
especially with, certain supplies and things that you might want. You want to get ahead of them,
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like we talked about last week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
With
Like yeah,
seeds.
last week with the seeds and some online retailers you can find stuff you need. Some you can't.
I
So
know.
you really got to go hunting for it. So,
Yeah,
but even right now with there's different bulbs on sale at different online retailers, maybe local retailers, brick and mortar, and things are already getting sold
I
out.
know there's things sold out already.
Yeah,
So,
crazy.
so we thought we would kind of get a little bit ahead of it. I mean, fall is, about a month out. So, you're probably not ready maybe to plant them in your area quite yet, but it's never, again, just looking ahead, being prepared. What we thought
Mm,
we thought this would be really fun today because I know, or we know that in the past our audience is really, you guys have loved
mm-hmm,
talking about, new plants, new bulbs, new things coming out.
mm-hmm.
So we thought this would be really fun today to talk about,
Yeah,
all the new fall bulbs that some of our favorite retailers are selling,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah. Just what's available now. What is new? It's fun to see just all the new flush of colors going on out there, and what's available. And there's a lot of many unique flowers out there right now. So
There's some really interesting new tulips and daffodils on the market right now.
yeah, and we're going to show them to
I
you.
know, we're
Now,
excited to
and these
see.
are going to be picks just from us. These aren't going to be just we didn't follow somebody else's list or criteria. These are just ones we picked out that we thought we'd want to show you that we were interested in buying, and somebody's already created a couple of online
Oh, we,
cards.
we have carts going on pretty
So
much all of these are picked.
yeah, so the ones you're going to see today are almost a done deal for us actually buying. So
Well, yeah, I guess so. I know we're kind of like, oh, we want to buy more, but it's hard because we are in containers right now, right?
hmm
So that adds a little bit of a challenge, but
hmm
then no, because you could plant them and just bring them with it. We could just bring them with us when we move.
that's
So
right. Yeah, that'll be fun. So we wanted to ask you first though too. Have we already asked them about the poll?
yeah, our poll's up right now. Which
Yeah.
fall planted bulbs are your favorites? And I know it's hard to kind of narrow it down and
But it's like generalize it. Put it in a group.
yeah,
What
like
we got tulips up there. We got daffodils. There's iris, snowdrops. Out of those four, which ones are you excited about? Which ones do you want to plant?
or maybe, if none of your favorites are on the list, let us know in the chat so we can kind of
Yeah.
hear from you what, because, there's so many others. I mean, there's crocus, there's
Oh
all
yeah.
kinds of iris. We just lumped them all together in one
Yeah.
group. So,
And if you're here watching us live, tell us, say hi to us. Drop us a hi in the comments there, or sorry, the chat, and let us know you're here and where you're coming from, and where you're gardening at, and yeah,
yeah, I
it'll be
know. We'd
fun.
love to hear from you. Good morning to you, Pham Tai.
Oh, Fantai, hi. Good
Hi,
morning.
good morning.
Thanks for being here.
I
Yeah.
know. Well, it's again, we all said good morning, so that's good. But some of you might be more like good afternoon or good evening.
Oh yes, yes, different parts of the world. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, fam. Are you planting anything or wanting or getting ready to plant different kinds of bulbs in your garden this year? Let us know in the chat area.
Yeah, we would love to hear because I know, again, we're talking about containers. What should we do? We want to design some beautiful spring blooming displays. We don't quite know where they're going to, are we still going to have them in our Tacoma temporary garden? Are we going to be on our new property? We're not
Yeah,
really sure where we're going to be yet.
yeah, yeah. I know. It's going to be wonderful to actually get in and get these new bulbs and to receive them and then plant them, and maybe we'll just do like mono plantings of all just one bulb in
Oh,
one container.
that would be awesome. Yeah.
Of just this lush, all these flowers that come up this next spring, and or the same flowers, or do a mix because there's a
I
lot of
like
great
both of those
mixes out
ideas.
there. Yeah.
Well, and then, we have to look at our space available and what we have. We have a lot of containers where we kind of need to like dig things up and maybe like, kind of clean them up a little bit. We
Oh
have
yeah.
sparse kind of tulips going on in some
I know.
spots.
We have to dig a few of
We
the
need to
peats
do.
up. We need to take inventory of the bulbs that we have because we have what is it? We've got squill, We've got summer nunculus, or those
Oh, I do.
anemones. I think
Both.
oh
Both.
both, yeah, we have both. Huh.
Oh, I know. I
So
forgot about anemones. Anemones.
anemones. It's
Should have
hard to
put
say
that on our
sometimes.
list too. But
Yeah, but yeah, fun.
so yeah, I guess let's get. Should we get started? Because
Yeah,
it's just like there's so much to look at.
there's a lot
I
here.
think
So
some people will be kind of joining in, and if you're just joining us, good morning or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And yeah, we're talking about fall bulbs today. Brand new fall bulbs on the market this year. So we're going to look at supplies from Eden Brothers, color blends,
yep, and Brent and Becky's.
Brent and
East
Becky's.
Coast, one of the best East Coast bulb online retailers are out there is Brent and Becky. Sorry, we got a little gnat flying
And
around.
they're awesome, just great people.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, they're fun. Brent and Becky are fun.
Bulb Farm was the other one we pulled from.
Yes, yes.
And
I should mention, we should mention, we're going to have like a freebie sheet. It's going to be a PDF. We'll have it down in the description. We're still getting the PDF converted over from a Word file that we built. We just put the final touches on it this morning. So we're going to get that in the description. So if you want to follow along with some of these bulbs that we're going to describe to you, you can get that freebie, click on it, and open up the PDF, and there's clickable links in there. Excuse me, there's clickable links in there for you to actually go to those online retailers and find those specific bulbs and get a real good look at them. Not only what we're going to have on the screen for you today, but just yourself on your own laptop or computer and really get a feel for those bulbs. So
yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
So I'm gonna pull up the first slide, and
Okay, let me get caught back up. Sorry.
then I'm going to shrink us. Here we go. We're shrinking.
Okay.
I'm warning you. Here we go. Here we go.
Oh my gosh, I
right.
love
There we go.
that new daffodil
All right.
on the corner there. We're going to tell you what the names are of some of these bulbs that we pulled on this first page here, but
Oh yeah.
so pretty.
So fall bulbs that are available right now that are gonna, you plant them now, and then you're gonna they're gonna come up next year, right? Fall planted, spring flowering bulbs. That's what we're covering today, just to make sure we're clear on that. So yeah, so we're gonna ask you right now, what excites you about fall planted bulbs? I mean, what excites you about fall planted
I was
bulbs?
just laughing because we're total nerds about bulbs. Like,
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
are.
most plants probably in general, but we, for some reason, we get really excited about bulbs. So we're like, what? We were just wondering, for you. I think for me, it's the idea that you can plant it, you kind of forget about it, and then in the spring, you've got this burst of color coming up. And I don't know about you guys, but we go out and check them like every day when they start sprouting out of the ground. It's just like, okay, where are they now? And you just kind of see how much higher they, how much more they've grown.
If we're running out at our old house, we'd run out the door. We got to go run an errand or a meeting or whatever, and we would take the time before getting in the car to walk over. Oh, let's check the bulbs. So we'd go over and check them and see how far did they grow, like maybe a centimeter or something. Or
It's so exciting. You take pictures. I mean, it's just
yeah.
we totally nerd out with them, and it's just the colors available. I mean, I know Sean too. I love spring planted bulbs. I mean, dahlias are amazing, but there's something about tulips and daffs. I think it's that excitement that they're kind of the first things to pop up.
Oh, yeah.
Depending on what variety you get and how early they bloom.
Well, and you're right. Yeah, I agree with you. That first flush of growth in early spring or even late winter when some of these bulbs come up, it's like a surprise. It's like, oh yeah, I planted those or we planted those. This is so cool. And then you get that burst of color, and it's almost invigorating to have that. And then you get more excited about the rest of spring, and then the summer just kind of builds the momentum, and it's fun.
It's fun. It's just, and especially if you've designed something with different colors and just to see it come to life, right? It's just an exciting time to be a gardener.
It is. Exciting time to be alive.
No, it's great. So, and if you can plan it right and get early spring bloomers, mid, and then late, you'll just have like this season-long growth, and then you can use them for cut flowers. I mean, there's so many amazing benefits.
Oh yeah. Well, and the pollinators, it attracts the pollinators, and depending on which kind of flower it is, which bulb it is, it's awesome. So
there's so many things. So what excites you guys? Let us know in the chat or drop it in the comments if you're watching the replay. We'd love to hear from you. Good morning to you, Betty. Betty's joining us. Where are you gardening from, or where do you live, Betty? What zone are you in?
Yeah, and you too, fam.
Yeah, fam.
Yeah. Yeah, where do you guys, what's your zone? Where do you garden?
I know, because it's interesting to think like how soon or late are we all planting bulbs? You know, it's kind of all different times
Oh,
depending
yeah.
on where we live, and
Yep.
like we're a little bit later, maybe more in October-ish.
Yeah, yeah, end of September, early October is when we can start usually, but
Yeah.
each year is different. So,
This year our first frost is around November 13th. Isn't that right? I think it was November 13th for
I
it to
think you're
come.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And guys, a good rule of thumb for planting your bulbs is, if even if you think you're late in planting the bulbs, where you're at, because it says somewhere, somebody somehow says, plant them in September and you're already in November, let's say. If the ground isn't frozen yet and it's workable, like you can dig into it and it's not literally frozen yet, you can plant the bulbs still. And so that's a good rule of thumb to take into consideration
That's true. Yeah.
when you want to plant bulbs and you think you got other things going on, you keep putting it off. Well, if that soil's still workable and it's not frozen yet, get them in the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, and I mean, we kind of, I don't know if you've been following our channel for a bit, Sean and I kind of push the envelope a little bit.
yeah,
We
we
like
do.
to kind of experiment and try things. And we found a whole box, like an entire box
Oh yeah, the
of all
spring
those fall planted bulbs.
or
And we were like, oh
this
my God, we never planted
it's
these.
like in February.
Yeah, we got busy when we moved and then we found this box and we're like, oh no, we didn't get these in. So
Oh,
we
it's March.
planted them like
Yeah, we planted
in
them
February
or mid March.
and they all came up,
Yep.
like
Yep.
all bloomed. So we kind of pretended that we lived in a cold enough climate that we needed to wait till the spring to plant them or late
Well, and it could have been too,
worked.
So the thing is too with the rule of thumb of planting, also a rule of thumb with fall planted, spring flowering bulbs. Mainly the idea is when you plant them, when you're planting these bulbs, they need some type of cold treatment. They need that a couple of days of a certain temperature, at temperature or below temperature to trigger them. There's a biological response that they need. They've evolved this way. So, and then when spring comes, hopefully they've already reached that need. And then the warmer temperatures come and they go, oh, okay, we've got our cold treatment. Yay, now I can grow. So, and with the bulbs that we found, I'm pretty sure they were out in a garage detached from the main house at Allison's mom's place.
Luckily, they were cool.
And they got that
Yeah,
cold
they did.
treatment out in the garage still. So we're very thankful for that.
I mean, a
because
lot of them were sprouting already.
I know,
They were
yeah.
already growing in this
Yeah,
bag
it
in the
was really
box. I
cool.
mean, it was amazing.
Yep. So
Well,
that
it's
was
just cool little.
they're underground storage
They're just.
structures. That's what they are.
They're really. I know.
Yeah.
They're cool.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry we get
No,
excited.
it's fun. It's really cool. Hopefully you get excited about this stuff too.
So before we get moving, okay, so let's check in on the poll. So far, Iris is in the lead for the most, like the favorite
Cool.
bulb or fall planted bulb.
Okay.
Followed by tulips.
Yep. Okay. That's cool.
I know.
That's
yeah.
fun.
Oh, irises are so beautiful, and there's so many different like types, right? There's like
Oh yeah, there's
bearded, and then there's the
the irises. Yeah, I think there's is it 3 or 5 different types?
They're
It's hard.
beautiful.
It's hard to keep up with all this stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's many different kinds. You know what? Real quick, if you're watching this in the replay and you still want to vote, let us know down in the comments section what bulb out of these 4 you want to plant or you're getting excited about.
Again, it's tulips, daffodils, iris, or snowdrops. Snowdrops was just kind of a random one, but they are beautiful, and they come up so early.
They do.
So that's kind of a fun one because they're such an early bloomer.
Mm-hmm.
So good morning to you, Jennifer. Jennifer T's here. And Jennifer's mentioning she really wants to learn a lot more about bulbs. She's in
Cool.
for a little bit of a newbie to bulbs this year. So you're going to be hooked.
Oh yeah, it's so
There's
awesome.
so much to know. And once you know it, then you can just experiment a little bit. And it's really fun.
There's so many different kinds of bulbs too. Well, there's 5 different kinds of actual bulbs out there. There's the true bulb, there's the rhizome, there's the tuberous root, and a corm. And out of those 5, all those 5 are actually called generally bulbs. And so I did the air quotes. Hopefully nobody has a okay.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on.
We're not
I've been a little goofy this morning.
not over
You can ask her about it.
goofy.
yeah.
I think I just need more caffeine to keep up.
Oh, okay.
I'm not there yet,
Okay.
but I'm working on it.
Okay. 5 different kinds of bulbs out there. And so, and so, yeah, so it gets interesting just from that perspective because they grow, all 5 grow in just either really, really slightly different ways or very different ways. And it can be different too in how deep you plant them and when you plant them, different kinds of year, like irises. Irises and rhizomes, in general, usually you plant them right now. It's usually August to September.
That's true, yeah.
It's more of a summer, mid to late summer planted type of bulb. That rhizome, that's when you actually handle them. You can dig them up and transplant them. It's unique in that way. Whereas like tulips or daffodils, you plant them maybe starting mid to late September, and then definitely through October and maybe even into November. You know, that's okay. And that's when you handle those and dig them up or plant the new ones. So yeah, it gets really interesting.
That's
and
so true.
and they've all evolved in so many different ways. Like there's certain irises that love, I think it's the Siberian iris. It loves being in like really wet conditions. I think it's the Siberian iris. It loves being in really wet conditions where other irises don't. And usually for a bulb, that underground structure, storage structure, they don't like to be in really wet conditions because most of them rot. They didn't evolve that way. Where this one type of iris, it did. And so it's really cool to get those differences and just know about them and grow them. So anyway.
No, that's cool. I know. I'm always learning more.
Allison's getting the little bit.ly link ready for you for the PDF because we really want you guys
we want to get
to
this
be able
soon.
to download this freebie. It's PDF. It's real simple. There's clickable links though. I think it's Eden Brothers, it's Brent and Becky's Bulbs, and then there's color blends. And so on this freebie, all three of those online retailers are listed out, and you can click. So we're getting those. We'll hopefully have that. Allison's going to be able to do that. Get that into the description of this live, and then you'll be able to click on those and maybe open that up while we're talking too.
Yeah, it should be up. Let us know, you guys. The link is posted, and we'll definitely put this in the description as well.
Yeah, it's just we have a printed version of it right here, and it's just 2 pages. It just has our little logo and stuff up here, and then it just starts listing the bulbs out here. So that's all it is.
Okay,
Real simple.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let's
get going. Everybody's like, yeah.
We're talking. Okay.
Okay.
Haha.
All right. Okay. So, this is so fun. You guys just take it in.
Yeah.
All of the bulbs on this page and just. A little bit. It's very hard to narrow down and pick a favorite. I mean, I think I have one already, but.
Which one do you like?
Well, I'm gonna wait a minute on that because it's between 2 different bulbs right now, but. Yeah. So basically, Eden Brothers has a whole blend of they have tulips, they have daffodils, they have iris, they have ranunculus, they have
anemones,
crocus. They kind of have everything.
They have everything. They really do. Oh, and you can go there and use Spoken as a coupon. Yes. In the coupon code, use just the word Spoken. You get 15% off your whole order on Eden Brothers. So just know about that.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. I know. Yeah. One thing I love, just as we get into all the bulb suppliers we picked, Brent and Becky's, for example, they carry some really cool, unusual fall bulbs.
They do.
We're really going to highlight them in a couple weeks from this live. From today, we're going to be talking about unusual fall bulbs, kind of getting away from tulips and daffodils. Maybe some interesting species of those kinds, right?
Yeah. But they have some really unique plants. So yeah.
Yeah, back to Eden though.
But Eden Brothers, yeah. So up here on the screen, these are really beautiful. We love these when we saw them. It was just instant. It was we got to show this one. We got to show that one.
We couldn't wait to show you.
So first off, Verona Sunrise. It is beautiful. All those different hues of colors of, yellow, pink, red, white, and it fades. There's fadings of colors from one color to the next. And it's just this big, beautiful plant. It's an actual... Well, wait a minute. What do we have here? Yeah, that's right.
A double.
It's a double tulip. That is a tulip.
I mean, it's huge. If you guys have ever grown a double tulip, it doesn't even look like a tulip. It's just this huge. It almost looks like a giant ranunculus, kind of. It's sort of got without the folding in the middle. The kind of rose look.
I was going to say it almost looks like a rose.
It's kind of
how full all those petals are.
They're just amazing to watch grow, and just. Often the outer petals look different than the inner petals.
You can see it right there on the picture.
They're really fun to watch, and often these are kind of a later bloomer too. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we've got it here. So on that cheat sheet, on that printable freebie that's in the description down below, what did you name it, by the way?
I think I just called it New Bulbs 2022.
Okay, so go down in the description, look for New Bulbs 2022 as a clickable link. It'll pull up this PDF. That's what we're following right here. It's listed on here, and so the information we have on here, you'll see it on there too. So it's a true bulb. It's a spring bloomer with full double flowers. It needs full sun, but it can be in partial shade. It's hardy in zones 3 through 8. That is a big
That's
range.
a big range. That's nice.
That's
I know.
big, yeah. And then they'll grow 20 to 24 inches tall,
Wow.
and they'll get about 6 inches wide. So
Tall tulip. I mean, some of them do get really big, and the perfect stem size for cut flowers.
it's huge.
I mean, that is a
big.
long stem. So
That's
that's a
big.
good one.
Yeah, and then they obviously attract pollinators, and they're drought tolerant, so that's pretty cool.
That's
so
really cool.
You know, once they start growing, I don't know if you guys know this, but you don't want to water any of your bulbs, especially in your pots. You don't want them sitting in water, but you don't want to start actively watering a lot of your bulbs until you start seeing them pop out of the ground. Because if you do that, they're not actively growing yet, they can rot. If they're not actively growing and photosynthesizing and using that water around them, they're just going to sit in that water, they'll just rot. And so these bulbs, they're going to start coming up. You're not going to need to actually water them a whole heck of a lot. If they're drought tolerant, they're going to need minimal water, which is really cool. So
Yeah,
something to think about.
I know that's cool as you're planning, right? And like thinking about what do I need for my garden or my water needs. Like that's really helpful to know. So moving on, we've got we always like the mixes. You know, it's fun. A lot of I think we tried to pick at least one mix. Often, you know, the different companies will put together this mix of colors and they'll name it something really cute.
Yeah, and on Eden Brothers there's at least 3. I think there's even more of these mixes on there, and they're all different colors. They're all different kinds of mixes.
Yeah, they're just beautiful, vibrant. So this one's called Triumph Mix. So you can see the assortment of different, you know, like almost shapes and sizes. It looks like, but the colors.
It looks like there's fringed ones in there.
Yeah, there might be some fringed tulips, which is a really beautiful tulip.
The tulip petal right on the edge of it, it has like a fringe almost. It's
Love
beautiful.
fringed tulips. We've grown those in the past, and they're really beautiful. And the other one that I really love, we don't have on this screen, but parrot tulips, parrot type.
Oh yeah.
We've never grown those, and I really want to. We've got some in our cart already. So
they're beautiful. You know, the one that pops out to me on the screen here in this Triumph mix is that basically it's red, but then it has yellow edged petals. That one just pops.
That one really pops.
Wow.
That's it's a beautiful mix. Moving on, I think this one might be my favorite. It's a daffodil on the bottom left there. It's called Decoy. So I love the daffodils that have like the orange and red centers because they just look so non-typical, you know, a daffodil. I'm used to, you know, white or yellow or just full yellow or whatnot. And I just love those reddish, like orangish centers. I think those are so pretty.
This is so striking too.
It's really striking.
Because we're used to just the one whole color of it. You know, it's pure white or it's pure yellow. There's no difference in color. But even the white outer petals and then the inner cup, I guess if you will, of yellow or orange or anything like that, those are always so striking, and they just always draw my eye. It's amazing.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I know that one's in our cart, by the way.
Yeah.
The next to that, sorry, I can't talk this morning. The Immortality. It's a bearded iris. Look at that, you guys. It's a rebloomer too. It's a beautiful white with that kind of has like a yellow center. So a lot of you that are voting for iris right now, take a look at that one because I mean. It's always fun to have like an all white flower, you know, it kind of just stands out, especially if you've got a darker area. Obviously these need probably pretty close to full sun, right?
It's Immortality, yes.
Full sun.
Yep, full sun,
Some
well draining soil.
Really tall, 34 to 38 inches tall.
Yep. You know, this is really
You can
cool.
mistake it.
Oh yeah, that's a great suggestion. You know, this is fun too because they're deer resistant.
Yeah,
These are deer resistant bulbs. That's pretty cool.
So it doesn't mean they won't try it, but it's helpful when you have.
They'll come up and nibble on it, but
because they're going to go after the tulips, right?
Yes.
Most of them. I mean,
most of them, yeah, and the daffs. Some of them. Well, they'll nibble on the daffs, but the daffs, Narcissus, they're poisonous. So you know, it's poisonous to us. It's poisonous to them. They'll nibble on it and get a bad taste in their mouth.
I'll try it,
and then they'll move on. But so anyway.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
So, okay, often sorry, I couldn't get a better grid system going here, but Bonbon. Now, this is a gorgeous ranunculus, and those of you that like growing cut flowers, they have, Eden Brothers, I think, had like about 3 different new shades of ranunculus this year.
Yeah, and we didn't put that on our list either, so that's okay.
Well, yeah.
But that's okay.
So it's like, I don't even think that picture does it justice for what I saw, but it's
Those
just a
beautiful.
bright, hot pink color.
Yeah.
Bonbon.
It's a ranunculus, you said?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, look at those full blooms.
Yeah, I really like that.
You know, since this isn't on here, guys, go to EdenBrothers.com and then type in that search box up top, Bonbon ranunculus, and you'll find it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry we don't have that.
So pretty.
That link.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
We should ask you guys, if you have a favorite on the list, let us know in the chat or in the description or in the comments, just for fun. What's your favorite on that?
On this one, I would say the Verona Sunrise.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I like that one. Which one?
I do too.
Which
I
one do you
think
like?
decoy, just because it's so striking.
Yeah.
So let us know, you guys, what from Eden Brothers. I mean, they have many more than this. We just chose 5, but let us know what your favorite is.
So, all right. So now, Brent and
Look at
Becky's.
this like selection.
So now, if you want to preempt us, if you have like different screens open and you want to open up a new tab or something, go to brentandbeckys.com. No, brentandbeckysbulbs.com.
Yes, yeah.
And all one word. And you'll be able to follow along or just search for all these too. And the links are down in the description too for these specific online retailers. So yeah, so first up, upper left-hand corner there, Moonlit Masquerade. Oh my
so
God.
beautiful.
Look at that.
That actually says it blooms in early to midsummer.
Yes, it's a hemerocallis.
So it's a little bit later.
It's a lily. It's a type of lily.
Okay.
But you can plant it. You can plant it in the fall.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Look at those colors though. That is striking. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Gorgeous. I love that.
I love the Janis Joplin tulip. So that's a fun name. It's kind of a lavender almost with like a darker center.
Can you believe that's a tulip?
I know.
It doesn't even look like a tulip.
I thought that was an anemone.
It's a hard one to say.
I cannot speak.
There's some tongue twisters in here. So.
Well, when you're tired, it doesn't help. But
yeah, Janis Joplin. Look at that hue, that color. It's beautiful.
That's a beautiful color.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, now how tall does the Janis Joplin
14 to 18 inches tall.
Okay,
so kind of more of a mid.
It's a mid. Yeah.
So that's
not bad.
Yeah. You can see if you have a lot of those other colors in your garden, you can design that with pinks or blues. Even if you got like some blue alliums.
And it's a
white alliums. Ooh,
it's a mid to late spring bloomer, and it grows in zones 3 to 8. That again, that's quite a range to grow these in. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I could. Oh, that's a pretty one. So then below that on the left, balance of colors.
Yes, literally.
So just kind of a blend, a mix of.
How's that pink and light,
kind of
creamy
a creamish
yellow.
color? Yeah, creamy white and soft pink.
And they blend all together. There's all these different lines and
those are really striking. Next to that, there's another lily. It's an Empoli. Empoli lily.
Sure.
So yeah, that's a fun one. That's also a hardy in zones 3 through 10. That lily right there. Look at those colors. Wow.
It's a midsummer bloomer.
Love that yellow center.
Grows 3 to 5 feet tall.
Wow.
So make sure to keep that in consideration if you're going to buy this one. That's pretty tall.
That's really tall. Okay.
Wow. Cool.
And then we've got an allium on there. Alliums are one that we should have put probably on our list because that's one of our favorites too.
Yeah. For some reason, they're hard for us to get.
Well, from one distributor, we tried to get some.
Yeah,
they were saying they couldn't send us to our area. And
that was weird.
That was confusing.
Yeah.
But alliums are so beautiful. If you've never grown alliums, the pollinators love, well, all of these, but pollinators love alliums, especially bees, and like they'll just land on them. And just the shape of alliums looks so cool and different in your garden, compared to other tulips and daffodils and things that you're growing.
Definitely. They all look spiky. They're like these balls of spikes.
Some of them get very large too. They have like the huge varieties.
Gladiator varieties.
Those are gigantic.
So this is an early summer, so late spring, early summer bloomer. And it's in zones 4 to 8. It gets 12 to 14 inches tall. So kind of
also a little bit.
It's like shortish, mid-range-ish. It's not too tall. It's not too short. So
that's good to know because alliums typically get pretty tall.
They do.
So that's kind of. You can find others like this one. Obviously, they're a little bit shorter. So I like that it's more of a mid-height. You could do a little allium garden and have just different. They do bloom usually later in the spring. So. Keep that in mind.
Yeah, so really cool. Guys, let us know in the comments if you have either the chat or the comments if you have one of these 5 that you think are your favorite. Which one's your favorite?
No, I think I'm going to go with the allium just because I love alliums.
Yeah.
I want to add a lot more alliums to our future garden, different colors, because they have whites, they have pinks, they have ones that look almost more bluish. So I like that rosy dream, and I like the height of it. That sounds really fun to experiment with. What about you?
Balance of colors.
Yeah.
I just love all that.
Too.
I just love that variation, the mix of those, that creamy color and that pink.
It's a beautiful tool.
Wow. Yeah.
All right, so you guys hopefully you're getting some ideas, some inspo maybe. Maybe some of you are already shopping on these pages. Now color blends, if you've never heard of color blends, they have, I would say, mostly daffodils and tulips, but they do have a few other styles of bulbs or varieties.
They do.
They're really popular. I know Garden Answer talks about color blends. She gives a lot of bulbs away.
She does.
We've grown color blends before. They've been amazing bulbs.
Yep.
Very, very
great quality.
quality.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great quality.
I'm looking for that word.
Yeah. So for color blends, colorblends.com, if you want to go there right now and just check it out, or later. So first up, Honky Tonk.
I love these. I want everything on this page.
Yeah, we picked Honky Tonk just because it's got that unique type of bloom. It's got those definite points, pointed tips on for their petals. Just beautiful, and it's kind of a muted. It's kind of a muted type of yellow almost. It's different. It's very unique.
I really like that.
I know.
It's very soft looking, and then just the striking the
pointy
edges.
tips.
Yeah, the pointy tips.
Yeah.
That's that's hardy in zones 3A to 8B, and it's a mid-spring bloomer.
Mid-spring, awesome.
So let's see, how tall does this get? Let's see, 10 to 12 inches tall.
So a little bit shorter.
So it kind of looks like more of a species type tulip, right? Almost like a
It could be.
hardy tulip. They didn't say on the
No, they didn't.
website, but
Yep.
that would be my guess. That's pretty.
So next up, Double Sunrise.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, that's like
beautiful.
that is. Let's see what kind of. Now that's a daffodil. That's
Yep.
hardy in zones 3A to 7B. So
Good range. Good range.
pretty good range. But does
Yeah.
that mean that we can't grow it in 8? I mean, or is it just not going to do as well?
That's a good question. I mean, going by the zoning, if we just went by the numbers, no, we wouldn't be able to grow it. But we could probably try it. At least try. I mean, it's
We're 8A here, and
if we're 8A and it goes to 7.
sorry, we're 8B.
Well, we're 8B, but out here it's a little bit more mild. But yeah, I mean, we could try it. It'd be worth a try because they're beautiful. I
They
mean, look
really
at that.
are.
Oh man, gosh.
I just love a double, and a double daffodil is a really cool, interesting look.
The next one was.
Oh, I love that one.
Not only is it beautiful, but the name is awesome.
It's a cute name, Hugs and Kisses. I just love the lining. It's just so. It's very striking.
Yep, these are tulips.
Beautiful tulip.
Oh, where is it?
I think it's right here.
Oh, it's right there. Oh, there it is. Okay. Yep. So,
Love the look of that.
it gets zones 3A to 8B. Good range. Grows 18 to 20 inches.
Okay.
It blooms in late spring, so it's a late spring bloomer.
That's
That'd be nice
cool.
to add to a garden and then have that color in late spring coming into early summer.
Oh, that is. I really like that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So next is another daffodil, Angel's Breath. Was Colorblends the one that also had one called Mary Poppins?
Yes, I believe so.
They had some really interesting, just kind of trumpet shapes, which I mean, they looked longer and just different than other daffodils.
Yeah, I think the Mary Poppins, like you said.
I liked that one.
So it had smaller. If you're looking at the Angel's Breath and just take a look at that, the Mary Poppins was different in that it had smaller, narrower outer petals, and then the inner cup petals were more accentuated. It was larger. It had a larger size to it than the petals going around it. So it was unique.
It's very unique looking, and the Angel's Breath is as well. I think that's so dainty and beautiful looking. And again, it only gets, let's see, about. Do we have the height? No, we don't.
Oh, no.
So it's a shorter bloomer.
It is.
We've grown some daffodils from color blends, like some shorter ones, and they were very prolific. And I'm struggling to think of the name right now, but they were just beautiful and looked amazing in the garden.
In other daffodils that are prolific, at least in our climate, that did very well here, were the tete-a-tete daffs.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay,
Yes.
they're kind of an earlier bloomer.
Yeah, that was
so
a fun one.
The tete-a-tetes are beautiful, and they always have them. They're not new though, but they've been around for I think quite a few years. But they're beautiful.
Just white. They're white petals with a yellow center, kind of a striking yellow.
They can be. We had just the pure yellow too. We had a lot of just the yellow, and so those were gorgeous.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different mix, but
Oh, maybe.
yeah. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then what's that kinetoscope? That's a fun one. That's one of the mixes they're offering this year.
It's a bulb mix. It includes Snowdrops, Wolfbane, Glory of the Snow, and a pair of yellow and orange miniature daffodils.
That's cute.
So yeah, height ranges are 3 inches to 13 inches. So quite a difference. So if you get something like this mix or another mix, take into account when you're planting them to make sure that the smaller, obviously, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, but you want to have those smaller, the shorter height bulbs out in front, and have the larger, taller bulbs graduating back to their height to the tallest in the back. So shorter in the front, taller in the back. Especially if you want to make sure they don't get shaded out.
Good point. And What's interesting about this mix is it ranges from early to late spring,
Yep.
right?
I think so.
Early to mid, sorry. So they'll
oh, yeah,
you'll kind of just have this like just cascade of growth, just kind of like
I
ongoing.
know, it's
So
beautiful.
that's kind of
And
fun.
make sure to know that this kinetoscope, it's only zoned from 5A to 7A. So
Wow.
kind of a shorter range there, but still beautiful. And if you can grow these in your area, you should do it.
Yeah, most of these
You know?
do grow in most areas. I think they must just not be hardy, like you said. So.
So yeah. So really cool. So
Can you guys
oh
pick a favorite off
oh
the
yeah.
slide? What's
Yep,
your
yep.
favorite?
My favorite, I'm gonna say honky tonk.
I do love the honky tonk.
What about you, honey?
I don't know. That Hugs and Kisses, maybe it's just because everything else is kind of a yellowish, hue, but that Hugs and Kisses really stands out. And I always like pink flowers.
Oh,
So
gorgeous, gorgeous,
yeah,
you
I don't
guys.
know. The Angel's Breath daffodils are kind of
Well, the double sunrise is beautiful too.
pretty much so.
Because it's got that orange in the center and then all that yellow, the bright yellow outside.
Pretty much all of them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we want all of them.
We want them all. Now, sadly, Color Blends is running out of things, and we don't mean to scare you, but if you're thinking about maybe adding some things and you really want to check out Color Blends, I would recommend getting on that kind of early.
Yeah, and same with Eden Brothers, same with
Yeah.
Brent and Becky's. You know, they've been out for a little bit now, maybe about a month or two, and yeah, things are starting to get sold out. So
they are.
just get on top of it if you want those bulbs this year.
That's right. And we try to be very careful to pick things that weren't sold out yet. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed.
So
Oh my gosh,
okay, so
there's so many interesting things to look at on this one slide.
and we have to tell you that New Holland Bulb Farm or Holland Bulb Farm, they're not on the printout, the printable, the freebie.
right.
They're not on that. So sorry about that. It was a late addition to this whole live, but we wanted to show you guys these because Allison found these online. She went right to hollandbulbfarm.com and yeah, she showed me these and it's just like, wow, oh my God. And some of these are just so unique. They're flower
They don't even
forms.
look like real.
Yeah, what we were saying, we were looking at the bullseye and those almost look like,
Tulip, you guys.
yeah, it almost looks like an artichoke.
It's like, yeah, it does look
Yeah,
like an
and that's
artichoke.
what
It's
you
like
said.
a double
It's beautiful.
tulip.
I was thinking, yeah, is that some type of fruit or, what is that? Is that a vegetable? But no, it's a tulip.
I know. So let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
So, okay, and their website is hollandbulbfarms.com. So, hollandbulbfarms.com. So first you've got that crocus. I'm used to seeing crocus in whites and pinks and maybe yellows, but look at this mix.
Some blues. Yeah, I know. Orange monarch. That's very unique. Yeah.
You know, it's different. I mean, it may not be like the colors you normally plant or whatnot, but some people we love orange flowers, but you think of spring being softer, different types of colors, and these are really striking.
Yeah. Yes, they are. Yeah.
Orange monarch. So
Yeah. Like that bullseye next up, just to the right of that bullseye. Yeah, no, these are tulips.
I just can't even get over that.
It's amazing.
I just have to look at it for a while.
I think they would be considered a double flower, at least a double, because of how many petals there are, how thick and how lush that is, how full it is.
Yeah, they're
for each bloom. Yeah, but if you look at it, the outer petals are green. They look like I mean, petals are usually modified leaves anyway, but these actually look like leaves. They look more like leaves than they do petals, and it's just amazing. I mean, that's so unique.
It's so unique.
It's gorgeous.
And it's a later bloomer, so it's going to come up a little bit later. And yeah, I'm kind of curious to grow just to see what they look like.
So
They're just
cool.
so
I know.
different.
I know. Now it's like we almost have to grow them just to see them in person, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. So next up, down in the left-hand corner there, metallic Dutch iris. Beautiful.
It's a
nice mix.
Yeah, it is a nice. I agree. I love the colors that they've put together. It's kind of, they all kind of blend together, even though you've got kind of the softer like purples and lavenders, but then like the harsher yellows and reds, but they all kind of blend. That yellow really ties them all together, I think.
It does.
That's a beautiful mix. And let's see, I'll pull that up if I can and give you some more info.
Oh yeah. Well,
Let's see.
oh yeah. Well, I was just going to say, on the right there's those fringe tulips we were talking about.
Oh, those are so pretty.
Yeah, but before we get into that,
Yeah, just let's see. The metallic Dutch iris are a height of 6 to 10 inches, so they're a little bit shorter.
sure,
that's
yeah,
cool.
that's interesting.
For the hardiness zones are 4 to 8.
Okay, a little bit of, no, good range.
They need a full to partial size.
Yeah, that
so
height is unique to an iris. Usually irises are
shorter.
a lot taller. So,
more compact.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So ballroom fringe, beautiful. And they just,
really like those.
with that name, I mean, they just have, it's kind of a pomp and circumstance. And then with the fringe, yeah, it just gives you that. It gives me the idea of, you know, people going to a ball and there's all this. It's very fancy and it's just very pretty, very beautiful.
It's very
Wow.
beautiful. I agree.
Wow. Yeah, and that's, you know, do we have that up? Do
I'm
we know
looking
if
for
it's
it
a,
right now.
because it'd be nice to know if it's a early
Here we go.
bloomer or,
I know. Let's find out. Just a second here.
because to see this in the spring, oh my gosh.
This is. Sorry, just a second here.
Okay, yeah,
Lots of
sorry.
different colors. 16 to 22 inches tall
Late spring.
and late spring.
So it's a late spring bloomer, but still, if you plant them now and you gotta wait till late spring, you're really gonna get a show,
Right.
right? I mean, really, that's gorgeous.
Most tulips are more of a mid to late bloomers anyway, right?
Yeah,
The early.
yeah. So
That is interesting.
yeah, there are some early blooming
Are there?
tulips. Yeah,
That would be fun
there
to
are
find.
some. But so last up, Crispa Purple Tower. Look at that. Is that a tulip?
It's a tulip.
Wow,
I know. This is what we're saying. Like this Holland Bulb Farm has some really unusual
that's amazing.
looking things.
So it says Purple Tower, and I can just imagine that the bloom itself, it looks like it's kind of elongated. It looks like it's little bit taller than a normal tulip flower that has you know, it's more traditional. It doesn't have that stretched out look. This looks like it's a little bit stretched.
Oh,
more
kind of
stretched
like a little bit elongated.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're calling this a double fringed late bloomer.
I can see that.
And 12
little
to
bit of
18, yeah, it's kind of got the fringy kind of around the petals there.
Yeah.
12 to 18 inches tall.
Okay, about mid-range. So not bad. Not bad. Boy, that's beautiful. Just gorgeous. Yeah, so let us know, guys, which one of these 5 you like, that you most like.
Wow.
I mean, what do you think?
I need to, well, gosh, I don't know. Out of this like grouping, I'm really drawn to the tulips just because they're so different, but I can't really pick a favorite. The bullseye is interesting, but I don't know. I don't know if those are my favorite or if I just think they're unusual. I kind of like the Crispa Purple Tower.
Yeah,
I think that would be the one. Either that or the ballroom fringed.
yeah.
What about you?
I'm gonna go with the bullseye.
Yeah?
Yep, I'm gonna go with the bullseye. I want to see those in person. I would love for us to buy those and just grow them and just see them just right up close and just look at them and just see the different structure. And you know, I don't know. It just blows me away that those petals look so green.
Different looking.
Beautiful.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah.
Would you grow something like that in your garden? Just have you ever grown anything, especially a bulb, to just see what it looks like? Maybe not necessarily it's your favorite or whatnot, but you're just kind of interested to see what it looks like.
Oh, did you see what Mark said? Hey, Mark.
See, hi Mark.
Morning.
Good
How you doing?
Mark. I know some of you are kind of joining us throughout the show, and again, we hope we've given you a little bit of inspo and ideas.
Yeah,
for
hopefully
all
we've been
these
helpful
bulbs.
with some of this stuff.
I know
so many different.
There's so many different bulbs.
Oh
I know
my gosh.
Mark was mentioning last week he was really excited about bulb planting this year.
Oh, cool.
So let's see. Okay, Mark placed a really big order at Color Blends.
Cool.
By recommendation of Laura from Garden Answer.
Awesome.
See,
Yep.
yeah, she's got some beautiful recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
He also finds things from Dutch Gardens, Brex, Van Borgendine. I'm sorry, I'm probably saying that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Tulips, daffodils, crocus, camassia, I think is how you say it, right? Or camassia. Anemones, some lilies too. Luckily colored, Color Blends pre-chills for Texas. So because Mark's in Texas and not really going to get much of a chance to
Yeah,
do
and
that,
that's
so.
a nice touch that Color Blends does that for the
That's really
customers
nice.
that usually wouldn't be able to grow these because it doesn't get cold enough. That's really nice.
Oh, that is really nice.
Yeah. So if you're anybody else out there, if you're living in a really warm climate, you're not zoned for growing some of these bulbs. Like us too, on some of the bulbs that we presented, we're too warm.
Yeah.
For some of those bulbs. You know, Color Blends will pre-chill them, and you can still grow them that year. You might not be able to grow them after that because you still don't get cold enough. But that first year you get them, you will get that growth and that bloom. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, good point, Mark.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah.
He was mentioning he's also ordered from Holland Bulb Farms before and had great success.
Awesome.
Like they're really big bulbs. He
Yeah,
said.
and that's you're right, Mark. That is a big order, man. You're going to be
is a
doing a
big-
lot
I
of
know, I'm
planting.
excited.
That's cool.
I'm excited to
Yeah.
hear about that. All right. Oh, you guys. So let's check in on our poll. Looks like daffodils and iris are. In
Oh, it changed up. Okay, because first it was iris. Yeah, it was just iris and tulips now. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Listen, you guys.
Oh, there's so many. No, nothing for snowdrops. I probably shouldn't have picked snowdrops.
You know, snowdrops are beautiful. I think they're kind of an unsung hero of the bulb world. A lot of people aren't familiar with them, especially a lot of new gardeners, because everybody knows about tulips and daffs.
Yeah, right. I mean, they're so beautiful everywhere.
Snowdrops. You say snowdrops to people, it's just like glazed eyes.
Well, how do you compare it with some of these tulips on the screen?
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many beautiful things to look at. Snowdrops are very beautiful and dainty, but it's hard to pick.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's kind of that's, I guess, the presentation we wanted to show you, and just kind of like give you some ideas and, oh, moving on, here we go.
Well, we wanted to, this is a slide from actually last year when we covered different kinds of bulbs and, you know, things that you want to consider when planting bulbs out in your garden, but we thought this was applicable even for this year. And so we wanted to give you a checklist before you actually go shopping or make those online purchases. And so you definitely want to take inventory of your garden, like open spaces, available space to actually place new bulbs, or if you're going to move bulbs that are already in your garden, you're going to move them to new locations, you want to check out and make sure that you have the space to plant them and they'll have enough room to grow, and also, you know, light and those different kinds of things. And then, number two, well, yeah, don't have a plan for the design, but we're not going to cover more later. So sorry about that. But number three, make sure your planting areas will not flood at all during the fall or winter. And this is important because, like I was saying before, most bulbs don't like to be in water all the time. They'll rot. They like to be in well-draining soil. Moist is okay, but not continuously just wet, mucky wet, like muddy wet. So you want to make sure wherever you plant your bulbs that they're not going to be in wet soil or just water all the time. There are some species that will thrive under those conditions, but most bulbs don't like those conditions. So be aware of that. And then choose an area for planting without a lot of foot traffic or vehicle traffic. And this comes down to, you don't want to plant the bulbs in an area and then have a lot of vehicles going over it or people walking on it, because it compacts the soil. And as that soil gets compacted, you planted those bulbs at a certain depth. And when that soil gets compacted, that depth of that bulb gets shortened. It gets smaller. So those bulbs need to be planted a certain depth. And as that soil profile shrinks, they're not going to be at the correct depth, and you could get some either weird growth, or the growth could happen later on, it could happen early, or you might not get anything at all. So anyway, so just something to think about. And then definitely check your soil, make sure that it drains properly. So yeah.
All really good tips, and especially if you're new to bulb planting or just haven't really had that much experience, it's good to kind of like know all of this before you get into it. You know, it's kind of like just getting prepared and planning before you actually make the put all the work into planting your bulbs.
So I think with that, then here is.
Oh yeah, just kind of a quick upcoming just some ideas we had that we're going to throw out, and we'd love for you to join us and chat about all of these things. So next Saturday, we thought we'd talk about what stem cuttings can you still take right now, like late summer or going into early fall.
Sorry, guys.
There actually are a lot of different things that you can still take stem cuttings from if you want to increase the size of your garden and just, you know, add it or share it with other people.
I know. It's a fun time. There's a lot of different plants to take cuttings from this time of year coming up. Really, really a lot of plants.
There really are. There's like a ton. Yeah. After that, we thought it'd be fun to talk a little bit more about bulbs as we're getting closer to bulb planting by then. Unusual fall planted bulbs. We're calling it part 2 because last year we did a live about unusual fall bulbs. So we want to kind of continue that because that was a lot of fun.
It was really fun.
Maybe you guys have heard of a bunch that you can share with everybody as well.
Yeah, and then September 17th, crevice gardening. Now, we wanted to talk about this because we're like, crevice gardening? We heard about this a little bit earlier this summer, and we're like, that's an interesting concept. So we wanted to present that to you guys, see what you thought about it, and if you've tried it, and then just talk about some different things that we might try, and see just what your guys' thoughts are on it. So
it's interesting. And then the week after that, the last weekend or the last Saturday of September, we're kind of not sure yet. So we just put it'll be something about fall. Yeah. Because we'll have been a couple days into fall by then. So yeah. So we'll figure something out.
Yeah, maybe a giveaway, maybe something. We'll see. We'll cook something up. So yeah, so that's about it, guys. You know, we covered a lot of stuff today. Covered a lot with the bulbs, and we're glad you guys were here. All the interaction was fun. Mark, that's a huge order, man. I'm really excited for you.
I'm excited to hear more about that too. And Jennifer, we're really excited for you, kind of launching into bulbs this year and trying some things out, and especially in containers you mentioned. So
that's gonna be probably it's gonna be fun.
It's really like easy too, because then you can, if you didn't like them that next year, you know, you can dig them all out a lot easier than the ground usually.
Yeah,
They're in a
easier access
confined
to 'em.
space, so that's fun to kind of experiment a little bit.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, guys, I think we're just going to wrap it up here. We appreciate you being here today. This was a lot of fun. I mean, I know I had fun, and Austin was
Definitely,
excited
I
about
love
all
talking
these
about
different
bulbs.
tulips and these bulbs and everything.
There's so many things I want to add to all of our carts right now. So, yeah, you guys, we've got, if you want to learn more about the bulbs we showed you today, again, we've got a checklist. It's pinned at the top of the chat, and it's also linked in the comment or the description for this episode. So if you're watching the replay, go grab that so you can kind of like, we've got direct links out to each of the bulbs that we showed you and a few more, it looks like, that we maybe didn't add to the slides.
Yeah, before we wrap up, I wanted to say hi back to Samacharam. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hi, buddy. Hi there.
Thank you for joining.
Yep, thank you for being here.
Yeah, you guys, and let us know that, you know, any bulbs you're planting or trying new this year, just drop them in the comments below.
Definitely, guys. Yeah, and thanks again for being here. We had fun. Hopefully you did too. And we'll see you next Saturday, 9 a.m.
9 a.m. Pacific.
Yep. So
you guys have a great
thanks,
week.
guys.
Bye.
Happy weekend. Bye-bye.